Napoleon Bonaparte, he set out to conquer the world. Had him a plan and had him a man, got him an army and he did begin. There's never been a man alive who lived his life and died fully satisfied. I've got my problems and I've got my good. You've got yours and that's how it should. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. You fight your fight, I'll fight me. Soon come a Don Hitler. He was to follow Napoleon. The world was his aim was the world.
Ah, you fight your fight, I'll fight mine. No fighting going on here. It's just a Friday cheers. Ah, yes. From the Utica Club. Wherever you are in the world, right? You could be down under like Keith. All right.
I've got my problems and I've got my good. You've got yours and that's how it should. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. You fight your fight.
Right on with Doug Kershaw, 1969. Debut from Ragin' Cajun from New Orleans. Yeah, there he is, that handsome devil, right? Look at that hair. You fight your fight, and I'll fight me. Kicking off side 2 right there. Picked that up last Saturday. Want to guess where I got it? I know, it's hard to believe. Got it right there. Look who's in my chair. Very inconvenient, very inconsiderate. He's going to have to share. Coming in, Colton. Coming in, buddy. Oh. He'll be back. You know how he is. Yeah, so anyway, Colton, you fight your fight. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, here we are. It's a Friday cheers. It's Friday in Buffalo. It's the weather's kind of a bit of a roller coaster right now. We're heading kind of that pre-March mess where everything starts to thaw out. It's not a whole lot different than New England, where we just came from, but there's just more snow here, and there's going to be more to melt. But we had some rain today, Colton, and it wasn't too bad. So anyway, yeah, and there'll be more houses coming on the market for March, and because spring weather, no one lists a house in January because it's covered in ice and snow, right? So you can't see the front yard, you can't see anything. But anyway, we're going to see a house soon and get one. We're on it. So anyway, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, there's this guy. A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for Chicago, where Steve lives. He's sporting his Sunday Night Vinyl Confession shirt, and he's having a crazy contest that I couldn't figure out. I tried it a few times. It was a little, it made the Rubik's Cube look easy, that whole thing that he did, but no, I couldn't do it. But anyway, he's having a contest every month, so who cares? There'll be another one, and I'll just do it. So anyway, yeah, speaking of do it, one more plug for my friend Keith at Attack from Down Under. Get over there and do his contest. He's celebrating 2 years in the vinyl community. He's my Utica Club vice president in New Zealand. He left a pretty funny comment on my last video. So cheers to Keith and everybody else. Because it's Friday, right? Anyway, what else? So last Saturday, what else did I do? Oh, wait, I got another shout out here. What the hell? Yes. My man on location, he is in Peru. That's my friend Steve Harold. Traveling to Peru is waking up postponed dreams, is connecting oneself, is getting into 5,000 years of living history, right? So I forget that city, it's Mount Pikachu or something like that. I have another postcard from there. A friend of mine years ago was down there in Peru, just like Steve Harold. I'll leave a link to Steve's channel. So Steve Harold, as I've said before, he sent me several postcards, lots of VCLT, real cool guy, originally from New Jersey. And ironically, someone else from New Jersey, Anthony Bourdain, he also traveled around the world. So Steve Harold should do a show like no reservations, or like Anthony Bourdain's thing. Only like you go to record stores just all around the world instead of going to restaurants. But he could probably do both because Steve's a interesting guy. Not the most interesting guy in the world, like that other beer commercial from years ago. I can't remember. Colton, you remember that guy? The most interesting man in the world? I don't know. That's us. We're the most interesting people right here in Buffalo, right, Colton? So anyway, got some stuff last Saturday. So shout out to my friend Gary over at Physical Format Country because he likes old school country. Big fan of it. This is Mo Bandy. Interesting choice of footwear there. It's a cast with spur on the back. Cowboy obviously had an accident right here. Not a big fan of clowns, but there he is. He had another song called Bandy the Rodeo Clown. Not on this one, but this one's called Cowboys Ain't Supposed to Cry. Let's see, where's the title on here? There it is right there. Title track, a very good one on this. She Just Loved the Cheating Out of Me. No deal for you. Great song. And the backup vocals on here, Jordanaires, friends of Anthony over at Gambler 812, because they were Elvis's backup singers, right? So anyway, what else do we get? It was a medley of things. And we got the second album from the Bodines here. This one called Outside Looking In. The debut, Sex and Love and Hope and Dreams. That's a really good one. This one was a little overproduced, but hey, for what did I pay for it? $3 mint. I'll take it. So anyway, I used to have a recording of this on cassette that I'd recorded from a buddy way back when this came out. The year on this one, 1986, I think. Anyway, it was produced by Jerry Harrison. That's the guy from Talking Heads. So it was kind of, I don't know a whole lot about Jerry Harrison because I'm not a huge Talking Heads fan, despite trying years ago. But he produced a couple of bands. I think he was involved in the Happy Mondays too, production on that. And I can't think of the woman's name from Talking Heads. I think they co-produced Happy Mondays. Someone could correct me on that. If anybody could correct me on that, probably be Embryonic Brian. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Cheers to him. Anyway, what do we got? Side 2 on this one sounds a lot more like the debut. It's a little more of that indie rock kind of sound. And there's actually a tune on at the end, near the end here, called Someday. Kind of has a Birds vibe to it. But yeah, really good American outfit. Outside Looking In. There they on stage and stuff like that. But yeah, cool band. Yeah, they were on that Slash label, owned by Reprise Records. So yeah, really good band. It takes me back to the mid 80s. What a time we had. Get in there, you. All right. Speaking of medleys, right? Bill Medley, I mentioned him last week. This is his solo debut when he split from the Righteous Brothers. Well, as the other guy there, Bill. No, he's not Bill. I forget his name. But anyway, yeah, he went solo right here. Then the two of them, I know they got back together like mid 70s. This is he's coming in hot at 100%, and he delivers here. But it's a little kind of Vegas schmaltz. There's a lot of horns going on this. And it's all covers on here. He does an interesting version of Let the Good Times Roll, a lot different than the Grateful Dead version. But yeah, like I said, this comes off a little too Vegas-y for me. He gets more back to basics here on the follow-up. He did these two solo records, and this one, of course, called Soft and Soulful. Big single on this, Peace Brother Peace. Kind of timely for around this period because it's 1970, the Vietnam War and all that. So yeah, this is really good, more traditional. There he is, that handsome devil on the front and the back of this. So Peace Brother Peace, When Something Is Wrong With My Baby, Street of Dirt. But yeah, it's just got those really lush production values. I think he actually produced it. Yes, he did. Produced by Bill Medley right there. Looks like I changed the inner sleeve and the MGM label. I always like that logo with the lion. All right, I don't know if Colton's going back. Seems to be a little pissed off over there today again. He's backing up because Patty lets him out in the hallway here at the apartment, and it's carpeted out there, and he just likes to go to town on it and tear it apart. So then, he's roaming around. He's back here, but he's getting into that Bill Medley record. He really enjoys that music, don't you, buddy? Yes, cheers to the Utica Club. All right, back up to Toronto. Speaking of Embryonic, these are friends of his, and Brian's a friend of mine. So I was in the store, and I actually texted Brian this one, and he saw the price, and he goes, "Very good price. Did you get it?" And I said, "Yes. Here it is right here." So they only did this one album, and that was it. They're from Toronto in 1981, I think, the release on this. Produced by, Geddy Lee, right? So the lead singer, keyboardist, this guy named Malcolm Byrne. This got a lot of critical acclaim. People really liked it. Passion of Love was a single on this. Melody was a really nice pop song. And then, boom, they split. No follow-up. And he ended up he lives down in New Orleans. Speaking of New Orleans, I played that album at the beginning there. Where did I put old Doug? Oh, there he is. This guy from New Orleans. I don't think they were friends. But anyway, this guy, Malcolm Byrne, he went down there. to just do production and stuff. A friend of Daniel Lanois. So the two of them collaborated. Daniel Lanois, originally I think from Hamilton area, so it's west of Toronto. They collaborated on a lot of stuff down there. So yeah, Malcolm Byrne made a career as a producer. Don't know if he played any more music. And of course, they're on the Anthem, the Rush label, Anthem right there. So yes, this one produced by, like I said, Geddy Lee from Rush. Yeah, so that's Boys Brigade. Really good. 80s stuff, 80s kind of pop alternative. I don't know how to describe it. You go check it out. Check out those two songs, Passion of Love and Melody, and you tell me what you think of the Boys Brigade. Luba, another Canadian act right here. If you like 80s Heart and Nancy Wilson, circa like 1984, 85, get into some Luba. The big single on this, still hear it on Canadian radio. It's a classic. Every time I see your picture, super power ballad. And again, if you like that mid-80s Heart, you're going to dig on this big time. So it's Luba, and this is only a 4-song EP. She had a couple of full lengths after this, and then that was it. And I have a CD compilation called 60 Minutes with Luba. She managed to put together 60 minutes with only this EP, and I think, 2 full lengths. You get 60 minutes out of that. Anyway, every time I see your picture, really good Canadian classic. There's Luba lounging in a lounge room. The Capitol label. So yeah, Canadian classic. If you don't know it, check it out. And that's Luba. And for $3, and I had a copy of this when it came out when I was in high school. Don't know where it went, but I mean, I saw it here. That's the funny thing living in Buffalo, because we're right at the border here. That I see a lot of Canadian bands that I never saw in Boston in the bins when I was out record shopping. Never see them. Over to England now instead. We're leaving Canada. The Pretty Things, they'd been around at this point for 8 or 9 years. They think they came on the scene in England 66, 67, sometimes compared to the Rolling Stones, rightly or wrongly. I didn't know a whole lot about them. This was kind of their glam album from 73, 74. The lead singer sounds like Ian Hunter. I don't mind Ian Hunter, he's all right, but here's a super fan of Ian Hunter right here. If you don't know anything about Ian Hunter, just go over to Steve's channel. They're friends, he knows everything about him. There you go. That's a nice gatefolding on the inside. This guy, I was looking at this earlier when I was listening to it. Kind of has a striking resemblance to Bon Scott, right? Check that out. I don't know. Is that just me? Or were they separated at birth? I don't know. Identical twins. So she's riding a silk torpedo. She's being torpedoed. Yes, because she's a pretty thing, right? Wow. Anyway, Silk Torpedo, the name of this one. Fun record. Up and down. It's got that glam sound. I don't know who I compare them to. I don't know. Think of a glam band and you got that sound. So when I was out doing my thing, a couple of blind buys. I'm in the store. I looked up this guy, Norton Buffalo. He was played a harmonica on the first few Steve Miller Band albums. So I'm like, hey, I'll take a chance. Again, this was like a $3 record. Huge disappointment, huge letdown. I was expecting it to be a lot like early Steve Miller, kind of psych rock, psych blues. That couldn't be further from it. Total snooze fest. In fact, I think I started to fall asleep because I was just listening to this and lying on the couch, and I was literally going to sleep. It was so boring. So that Norton Buffalo, it's a reject. It's going in the reject pile. Not going in the reject pile though. For $3, mint. I knew this name of this band from the 80s called the Swimming Pool Cues, right? You can see that. Sorry for this light beaming in here. I don't know. Maybe we need any clips. Anyway, we got Swimming Pool Cues, their debut. It's called Blue Tomorrow right here. I believe they're from Athens, Georgia. Kind of sound like the B-52s a bit. And don't they look pretty quirky on that cover with the ponies and those outfits? I'd like a suit like that, right? It's, from the designer, famous Australian designer, Ben Rankins. He was designing suits in the 80s when you and I were just not dressed well at all. Ben was always well dressed. Yeah, so just like that guy. Anyway, riding a pony too, probably out in the outback. Anyway, yeah, so what else we got here? She's Looking Real Good. That sounds like a B-52s tune. Look that tune up. And another one on here, Big Fat Tractor. Totally sounds like B-52s, and it's really funny. Really great musicianship on this. This guy's the lead singer. I can't think of his name. And she sings too, co-lead vocals on most of the songs. Can't think of these guys because I don't know the names of the individual members of the band, but just Swimming Pool Cues, cool name. There they are on the back here. So his name again is Jeff Calder. and that's Ann Boston. Check it out, Ann Boston. She's not from Boston though. She's from Georgia, Athens, Georgia. So yeah, look those two tunes up. She's looking real good. When she's looking, it's called. And look up Big Fat Tractor. Really awesome. And this is Blue Tomorrow, Swimming Pool Cues, 1986. And another one for Gary over at Physical Format Country. Got the Glazer Brothers. This is a reunion album, I believe, from 1981. Because Tom Powell, here he is, they all look happy on the back, but on the front, they're like trying to look like desperados, right? They were kind of that whole outlaw movement. And Tom Powell had a studio down in Nashville, and different artists came in there. Waylon, Willie Nelson, various hangers-on, if you will. Hangers-on, I wouldn't say, but more aligned with the same kind of sound, right? So it's kind of that outlaw country sound outside of the whole Nashville Politan or whatever they called that country Politan. You know, the Billy Sherrill sound. This is way different. Not that I love the Billy Sherrill sound. Don't get me wrong. This is more the outlaw vibe. So anyway, Tom Powell had split from his brothers around 1970, 71. And he did a number of soul albums, which I'm starting to get most of them actually at this point. So when I saw this one, again, this is another one. All right, I'll see you in the summertime at Revolver, right? And we'll get some deals together. Anyway, whoever's coming to the party. And yeah, we got It's Loving Her Was Easier, and that's the title track on this, and that's a cover of the Chris Christopherson tune, and they do a great version of it. And The Last Thing on My Mind, that's a cover too from the 1960s. It's a folk tune. I can't think of the guy that did the original, but it's really good. And yeah, it's the Glazer Brothers here. And it's Loving Her Was Easier, right? Anything on the inside? Yeah, not really. Oh, it's just the Elektra. Cool Elektra logo. Electrified, right? Anyway, sorry about that glare today, but it's nice to see the sun, so what the hell, right? Put your sunglasses on when you're watching the video if it's too bright. Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades, right? There you go, I had to say it. Anyway, so one more here. Yeah, my man down in Peru on location, Steve Harold, he's down there. He's doing Steve Harold stuff. And this guy, he's probably coming up with another crazy contest. There he is. He even had a whiteboard, like a formal presentation. I was ready for the math formulas to come up, but no, the contest was enough. We didn't need math. It was all complex. So anyway, shout out to whoever's out there. Yeah, and it's a Utica Club. This meeting of the Utica Club now coming to a close. And yeah, I guess I'll just see you in the next video. Not much going on this weekend except some winter thawing, and that's all good here. So anyway, Friday cheers to you. Next video. And hey, remember, country music and beer, that's why I'm here.